Okay, welcome back. Today you're going to have Mrs. Mirza teaching you how to find the area of a triangle. This is review. I'm sure you probably had this for the last couple years, but today I'm going to go over it again. So, what do we need to know to find the area of a triangle? Well, first of all, let me tell you about the formula. To find the area, we say capital A. It's equal to 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. But I really like to change the formula up a little bit. 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So I like to say you multiply the base and the height and you divide by 2. And that way when you put it in your calculator, you can use the N over D button instead of multiplying by 1/2. I just find it much easier. So I need to find a base. Any one of these sides could be a base, but I'm going to call this the base right now, lowercase b. The height of the triangle is important because this right here is not the height of the triangle. This right here is not the height of the triangle. The height of a triangle has to hit the base and form a 90-degree angle. That little square right there means 90-degree angle. So this is the height. These right here are actually called the slant height. I like to think about it like this. Let's say you're going through a drive-thru at Taco Bell, and how high off the ground is the car? Well, it's not this high off the ground. It's this high off the ground. So that's the height, and you have to see that little triangle. That's the giveaway saying I'm the height of the triangle. So let's put some numbers in there. Let's say I tell you that the height of this triangle is equal to 10. And the length of that base is equal to 6. Well, let's take our formula. Whoa, I just went right through the 2. That was kind of silly. Let me do this like this. Base times height divided by 2. So the area is going to be equal to, well, 6 times 10 divided by 2. Now, if I want to do that like without my calculator right now, well, 6 times 10 is 60, and 60 divided by 2 means, well, what's half of 60? My answer is 30. The area of this triangle is equal to 30, and let's say that it's inches, it would be inches squared. That means that 30 little squares could fit on the surface of that triangle. The important thing to remember, you can use the formula in either form. The important thing to remember is I got to see that little square there to tell me my height is perpendicular to the base. That's what that means. It's hitting it at a 90-degree angle. So let's take a look at the worksheet. If you weren't able to print it, then go right ahead and just take time. You can pause the video and you can draw the triangles. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this first one. Trying to make it as dark or as big as I can for you. If you can believe this, I'm actually watching it on my Apple Watch and I see what my camera is recording. My camera is actually my iPhone. Don't you love technology? Let's take a look at this. I'm going to write the formula right here at the top. Area is equal to base times height divided by 2. Well, I'm going to find my height. I need that little square. That is my indication that this is the height. So that's H, this is B. So 8 times 4.5 divided by 2. That's how I'm going to find the area of that triangle. Now, I could do that in my head, but it's much easier if you use your calculator. And if you don't have a calculator like this one, you can always use your cell phone or any calculator that you have at home. Let's see what I got. Got a little something on my calculator. N over D button, that's my numerator over denominator. I'm going to put in the numerator 8 times 4.5. So 8 times 4.5. In my denominator, I'm going to put a 2. When I push enter, I get the answer is 18. The area is equal to 18. Well, what if you don't have a calculator with you that does the N over D button? You would want to multiply this together first and then divide by 2. Let me show you. 8 times 4.5, and then you would push enter, and then you would divide that by 2, and you get the same answer, 18. All right, let's take a look at one more, and then I'm going to actually create a quiz on Schoology. You can do these questions here on the paper, and then you can put your answers into Schoology. Let's take a look at this next one. Boy, that's a fancy looking triangle, isn't it? What do I need? I need a base. Well, I see this has to be my base right here. And there's the clue. There's that little square that's telling me that this is my height. My height here is 1.9. If you can't see it on the paper, that's what it says here, 1.9. So I have 1.9, because area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2, 1.9 times 5, and then I'm going to divide that by 2. Well, let's do it on our fancy calculator here. N over D button. 1.9 times 5, that's in my numerator. I'm going down arrow to the denominator, and I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get the answer is 4.75. Well, that's a tricky one, but it doesn't matter. We have calculators. What if you don't have a calculator that has the N over D button? Well, then just put in your calculator 1.9 times 5, enter, divided by 2, and I get the exact same answer, 4.75. So the area of this triangle is equal to 4.75. So let me just go over it one more time before you go on and do the practice. And if you need more instruction or you're not comfortable with it, then what I want you to do is I want you to go back onto Khan Academy or any video online. There's tons of them. How to find the area of a triangle. Here it is again. The area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 the base times the height, or base times height divided by 2, because isn't half of something the same as dividing it by 2? What's half of 10? 5. What's 10 divided by 2? 5. So 1/2 multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. You need to find your height. Now that is, you'll always find it when you see that little square right there. That means it's a height. And then the height, and the height is always perpendicular. That's a fancy term for hitting at 90 degrees to the base. So in this case, my base is 6. 6 times 10 divided by 2. Well, we got 6 times 10 is 60. You divide that by 2 and you end up with 30. Again, you can use any calculator that you want. Some of these are easy to do in your head, but when they start putting in the decimals, then it seems like we need our calculators. So you're going to be doing question numbers 3 and triangle number 5 and triangle, let's see on the next sheet here, triangle, because I don't want to do any that are too tricky. You're going to do triangle number 7. Hint, hint, hint. Look for that little square. That means it's your height. Again, look at number 9. They're giving you some lengths for those. These are the side lengths. These are not the height. So remember, that's a hint. Look for your square. And then we're also going to do, I'm going to put number 11 on the quiz. So you might want to do those ahead of time. Numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And then you're going to put your answers on Schoology. I'm going to have a quiz review posted with today's lesson. So I hope you all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon.